Greetings, our followers. Tonight's interview is something really special because on the other side of the line is one of my favorite guests and really a reggae superstar, original ragamuffin, Mr. Tippa Irie. Greetings, sir.
Yes,
How
King.
are you?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Everything is blessed. I'm in the cold, but not as cold as you.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, no, man. Everything is blessed, man. Everything is blessed. Just continuing to do the work, you know.
Yeah, great to hear that. Can you tell our followers briefly who Tippa Irie is?
Well, Tippa Irie is a reggae musician that was born in the UK, in London, UK. Parents from Jamaica, from a place called Trelawney in the country in Jamaica, and but I was born and raised. They came over to the UK in the 60s, and they had me and my two sisters. And growing up, listening to my father's music, I just fell in love with the music. And my father had a sound system called Music Messiah, and he used to play music from Jamaica to like Fundamental, Roy, DQ, Trinity, Dillinger, Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac.
All the foundation
And
artists.
basically, yeah, and I just kind of fell in love with the music as a natural thing. And then I fell in love with you, Roy, and Big Youth, and Trinity, and Dillinger, and Tapaduki, Charlie Chaplin, Brigadier Jerry, Josie Wells, people like that. And basically, I just used to follow those guys, learn from them, practice, and then I kind of developed my own style, What I did then, my dad had a sound system, and I used to practice on my dad's sound system. And then one family member, they heard me, and they said that you need to go outside, you need to go out onto more bigger sound systems because you're very good. So from there, I linked up with King Tubby's sound, who is the cousin of the original King Tubby's in Jamaica.
Your career actually started like lots of kids even nowadays dream of. You actually started through like talent contests and
yes,
you got your exposure through there.
Yeah, I mean, when I was on the sound system at home, my cousin took me to talent competition because, as I said, I was getting good.
Like Sex and Sound was really huge at the time. You actually said in one interview that it was like the Beatles of your scene.
Yes.
It was really huge.
Yeah. No, I mean, so, leaving Tubby's, I just had to leave Tubby's. I stayed with Tubby's for a couple of years in Brixton, and then Musclehead and Dennis Rowe from Saxon. They kidnapped me and took me to Lewisham to join up with Saxon Sound, And then from there, the rest is history. I had many tunes from there, I mean, the story is long. It can go on forever, but basically I'm trying to make it short for your listeners. But I started on Saxon, but I made my first record when I was 17. This was called The Opposite. And then I did some live albums called VSYC, which is the
three of them,
Shepherd
right?
used. Yeah, 3 of them. Yeah. You done your homework.
Yeah, well,
and, yes, I done.
And it wasn't hard.
Yeah, so I done those 3 albums with them, and then when I got signed to Greensleeves, Saxon basically just blew up, and all of the record labels in the UK wanted to sign up, the artists around the sound, So Maxi Priest got signed to Virgin, Papa Levi got signed to Island, and Tippa Irie, Daddy Rusty, Sandy, Colonel, we all got signed to Greensleeve Records, and then that's where my career really started to take off. I did tunes like Complaint Neighbor, Good Side the Feeling of the Bed.
That's when the Is It Really Happening to Me album came out, right?
Yes. That album came out, and then that changed my life, But I did a tune called Tippa Irie and the Colonel Just a Speak. That was the first release on Greensleeves, And then Is It Really Happening to Me came after that. And then when Hello Darling came out, it went straight to the pop charts, and that changed my life. That made me a household name in the community.
Yeah, it's like your signature tune. Every artist has one signature tune that everybody knows them, and yours,
yes,
Hello Darling. And it has,
yes, definitely.
It was kind of spontaneous songs, as I recall. It was.
Yeah, sometimes those are the best songs,
Yeah, of course.
I saw this beautiful girl walking by, and I said, "Hello, darling." She said, "Hello, good looking." And I said, "Wow, that's a song right there." So I did some freestyle in the dance, and then when I was recording, It's Good to Have the Feeling You're the Best, there was a break in the recording, and I started to sing this song, and the producer said, "Tippa, what is that? That sounds amazing. So you should go home and write the song." So I went home and I wrote Hello Darling, and it went straight to #1 in the reggae charts and straight into the pop charts. So that was a blessing, And then that's when my career really started to take off.
That was during the Saxon Sound era, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was 1986. But, obviously, I had a big history before that tune, but that tune just went into the mainstream. And then after that, I had, a consistency year after year. I had #1 tunes, Ragamuffin Girl with Peter Huntingale, and Superwoman with Winston, and Stress with Lloyd Brown. Everybody wanted to work with me, So every year I came out with a tune with these guys and ladies, and it went to #1. So I had a good run in the 80s. I had 3 #1 tunes in the 80s,
Yeah, and you was very production at that time. Like, you drop an album almost every year.
Yeah.
Two Sides of Tippa, Amidis,
yes.
Ragamuffin, Sophie and Steel, New Decade, and
yes.
like in 91.
Yes.
So
No, definitely. I tried to keep busy at that time, and I still try to keep busy, but at that time it was a real joy, to be working with so much different people, Peter Huntingale, Lloyd Brown. I did some production with Drummy Zed, some Aswad, and all kind of people. So it was a blessing, and I worked with a lot of different artists like Pato Banton and people like that. So it's a wide range of artists, and then when I linked up with Lloyd Brown, we did a tune called Stress, and It's a Love Thing, and those tunes were popular in the lovers rock field in the UK, So there's many albums and many tunes and many shows. So.
You have 15 albums, right?
Yeah, 15, I think, and more. I don't know how many singles, hundreds of singles.
Been very busy, eh?
Yes, man.
Which is great for us followers.
Yes, man. I keep my latest album now is living the dream, you know, because I'm living the dream. I'm doing what I love to do and make a living from what I love doing. So I've been doing that for 35 years. So
you deserve it. You deserve it already. I always wanted to ask, and I can't find nowhere this information, but how did Anthony Henry became Tippa Irie? Where does this name come from?
Well, you know, Irie is a Jamaican term for feeling good, you know. So as an entertainer, you know, when I was young, make people feel good when they come to my shows or they listen to my lyrics. So I took the Irie, and Tippa is a nickname from school. My brethren, a good friend of mine, his name was Skipper. We used to call us Skipper because we were always together. You know, we were always together playing football and playing cricket and playing table tennis, and so I just put the Tippa and the Irie together and made Tippa Irie. You know,
yeah, which suits you perfectly because anytime we can see you, you're always smiling, you're always in happy Irie mood. So
yes, man, I try to be happy as I can. Life, you know, you go through a lot of sad things in life, you know, and I've been through a lot of sad things, but, you know, for me, when I come to work, you know, I don't like to bring my family life to work, you know. Work, the people see you and sometimes they don't know what's happening in your life, but at the end of the day, it's not their fault what's happening in your life, so I don't bring my baggage to work.
I've been wanted to tell, like, Irie suits you perfect because you're always smiling, and it's like from 93 when you made the first song Opposite, like all the 80s, 90s until now, it's same energy, it's same Tippa Irie. Like, industry changed a lot during this time, production, everything, but you seem to manage to keep your, I don't know, your style, your energy, like, you've never been forced to do a song. All the songs are made by heart or something. It's like pure energy.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes, you know, people come to you with ideas, and sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. But I just like to be original, you know, and keep my style original and try to come up with different styles and different melodies and different ideas. And I always do that with my music, you know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not successful, sometimes it's very successful, like with the tune with the Black Eyed Peas, Hey Mama. You know, there's all these different ideas. So from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s, it's 35 years. So, you know, don't limit yourself. You know, I try not to limit myself when it comes to music. I like lovers rock. I like dancehall. I like bashment. I like hip hop. I like jungle. I like roots. I like steppers music. You know, I like all types of reggae music. So I like ska, you know. So I try to do all different types of reggae, you know. And sometimes it might not be the best thing because they don't pigeonhole you into one genre. So sometimes it's hard, you know, to get bookings because, you know, if somebody like, I don't know, the Selectors are booking a show, they want somebody that is the same kind of music like them, you know. So they might not book Tippa Irie because Tippa Irie don't have a lot of star tunes, you know what I mean? So, but I like to be versatile, man. I just like to do, you know, dancehall, lovers rock, blues, everything. And I think that's how I survive.
Yeah, and actually, in this couple of decades you've been on scene, you managed to somehow survive all the ups and downs. Like, one of the biggest downs most definitely was when piracy and downloading from music from internet came to trend into population. What's different now from artists than when it was when everybody was buying vinyl CDs?
Well, it's like 1/3 of the industry is gone, you know,
Yeah.
because it's like we used to sell, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000 vinyls,
Yeah.
Now you can spend, a lot of money on your album. For instance, my album "Living the Dream," I spent £1,000 just on a horseman to do the drums.
Yeah.
And until now, you don't see that money back yet. So my album, might cost me 5,000-6,000 euros to make. And you might make back, half of that. But how you make it back is off of your shows. So we make music now to sell, but not to really, make a profit unless it crosses over into the mainstream. You know what I mean? But in the most of the time we do music now for publishing. So we're hoping that our music gets played on the legal stations, and also we do it so that we can get bookings, we can get festivals, we can get club shows, we can get sound shows, we get band shows, and that's how we kind of that's how I make my money now. And dub plates, I do dub plates for sound systems all over the world. So that's another income. But the sales have gone really down, and that is for everybody, because you make a record is very expensive, but iTunes only want to sell your record for 80 pence, So if you sell it through them, you're not going to make much money. So that's why most people have their own site, their own web shop, and they try to sell their music at the shows, at the concerts. You know what I mean? That's how we do it here. So it's really, in my opinion, it's affecting 1/3 of the industry.
Because of that, I mean, okay, I know you have your own label, Lockdown, but all the, mainstream labels that do reggae, do you think that they invest too much energy, money, and time into promotion and commercial instead of quality of production? Because a lot of music nowadays is made for, now. They don't mind what's going to be in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree with you 100%. That's why I try to still use live, unless I'm doing like jungle music, which is, computer driven. I try my very best to still do my music live as much as possible. Sometimes it's not always affordable, but I think you're right in what you're saying. The music is not going to last forever. If you put on a Bob Marley tune now, it still sounds good.
Yeah.
It still sounds classic, and that's the difference, you know what I mean? And you're 100% right where you say a lot of the music it don't have no longevity,
Yeah. Do you know any young upcoming, not so known artists that aren't doing what we be just saying, that are still doing good production, are still doing music?
I like Randy Valentine.
Yeah, good artist.
I like Randy Valentine. I think he's doing some good music. It depends. A lot of them, the artists from the UK, like Gappy Ranks is pretty good, and people like that. But they're not. Some of them are doing music at Pekin, which is the traditional, and also Ras Demo. Demolition Man is an artist that I like. His last album, Calling, is a very, very good production, So there is a one and two, In Jamaica, I like Assassin. I think he's a good lyricist. And there's, obviously there's the normal artists that are doing very well, like Chronics and Protege and Kabaka Pyramid and Jeffrey Roy I like those artists. I like the music that they're making. You know what I mean? Because at least they're making, the quality of the music is good and the substance is good. In the UK, there's not that many artists that have the budget to do music to that standard.
Here I must touch a project you did with our common friend Nadira X.
Oh yes,
we managed to record an EP. We Love Life. 5 songs are amazing.
Yes.
How did that happen? I mean, how did you meet Ned?
We met in California. You know, I was out in California doing some shows, and we managed to be at the same studio for Dave Stewart, the guy from Eurythmics. I think that is where we met. I'm trying to remember when it was, but I think it was a studio session like that, and I met her there, and we just got talking and became friends from that time, you know. And so what we kept on doing, every time I came to California, we managed to link up and do a tune, and she had a little studio at her house, so at the time, so I used to go there and just voice to link up, and we used to do one tune, and then I'd come back to the UK. Then when I come back to California, I could link up again. She said she got another tune, and we just used to do it like that. And then I sent it to her. She put the vocal down. I put the vocal down, and then we just kept the link. And then she said, "Tip, we've got these tunes together now. I'm gonna put out the EP." So I just said, "Go for it." You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how it came about. We kind of synced up in California, and we just kept, every time we managed to be in the same town, we just did a track, and then it just came from there, and of course, We Love Life, so it was a good title for the EP.
Great 5 songs, and on this spot, I must send much love and shout to Nadira if she's gonna listen to this.
Yeah, man, big up Nads, man. Lovely woman, man. Lovely,
great person.
Lovely person.
Great artist, also very versatile like you.
Yeah, very talented young lady. But as always, it's not always the talented ones them that get the break.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big struggle in music nowadays. People don't understand that.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, music, you got to make good music, but at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, I still have a lot of tunes, but you need that machinery behind you, to bring it to the people, and sometimes this is what the problem is, you know what I mean? You might have good music, but if you ain't got that machinery and that funding and that push behind you to bring it to the people so that they can see your poster on the wall and hear your advertisement on the radio and see your beautiful artwork and this and that, it makes it difficult for talented people like Nadira to break through. You know what I mean? Because even with Hello Darling, I had Greensleeve behind me, I could have made that tune, but if I didn't have Greensleeve behind me, because Greensleeve had a record shop, there was an established label, they could afford to put money behind the tune to make it a hit. It went straight to a hit in the reggae chart, but for it to go into the national charts, we needed it to get it to the commercial radio, and they had the funding and the know-how to get it to commercial radio, and that's why it was a hit in most countries across the world. You know what I mean? So this is the problem with talented people like Nadira. She's a talented lady and very gifted, and very unique. Her style is unique. You know what I mean? But obviously you need that funding behind you to push you to that next level.
We are mentioning a lot, like jumping new project, older project, like from the beginning. If you take a look at the scene as it is now, and as it was at the beginning of your career, how much has changed? Like for artists, how is it much harder to get your stuff out and get recognized?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. Yes, because I mean, in some senses, it's the internet makes it easier for you to give you access directly to the people. You know, whereby back in the day, we used to have to wait for somebody like David Rodigan or Tony Williams, or we used to have to go to the dances, you know, to listen music. Now you can make your music and mix it, and the next day you can get it out. You know what I mean? And people can listen to it and people can buy it.
Yeah, but that's the downside, because everybody can do that. You had to be really talented, and you had to have, I don't know, some guts and a lot of luck to manage to produce a career like such as you have.
Definitely. I mean, for me, it's just like, it's, you know, you just, people come to me with ideas, and if I like it, I go with it. And that's me. That's how I've always been. And that's how I'm not afraid to try things and to try different things and to experiment with music, especially reggae music, you know what I mean? And sometimes, like I said, it works, sometimes it don't work. But back in the day, obviously, it was hard because you needed to have somebody that believed in you, you know, and believed in your talent and to push your talent. Nowadays, there's so much music, you know, because people can make music from their bedroom. So, you know, there's so much music. So I guess the competition is even more harder.
Yeah, I mean, all the good artists and such that are really trying and are really good are just, I don't know, lost in the mess of everybody else. Like, so much of, I don't know, bullshit. And people don't have the access to the really good stuff. I mean, editor of Reggae Media.
You're right. I mean, I can't say you're not right. You know what I mean? I got a lot of, and people will still see me on the street and say, "Are you still making music?" You know? They still ask you if you're still making music. So I say to them, bro, Google me, man, or go to my website and see if I'm still making music. You know, they're still asking me that shit. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, it's very difficult for people like Nadi and Nadir X and all these talented people break through because they're not pushing that kind of music to the forefront. When you're talking sense, they don't want you to talk sense. You know? They want you to talk nonsense. When you talk nonsense, then, you know, 9 times out of 10, you get through. And sometimes it's just luck, you know? There's a friend of mine right now, he's got a tune out called Barking. I'm gonna miss my thing from barking, 7 a.m. in the morning. And he's a young guy, he's 21, and he's just put out that tune, you know, and it's just blown up, you know. People have taken to it and it's gone straight into the mainstream. And there's a lot of people out there that's making music and this and that, and they're trying to this and that, and they're not getting the light of day. And my guy's made maybe a couple of songs, and that song has just taken off, and now the tune is big all over UK. So that's how it goes sometimes. It's the luck of the draw. You know, it's a nice tune, but it's no better than what a lot of people are doing out there, but they're not just getting through on the mainstream. And that's just how the music business is. Yeah.
You also mentioned earlier you made some tunes with Black Eyed Peas, which was very known and pretty much commercial at the time group, if I may call it like that. You actually got Grammy nominated for that. It was,
I did.
Hey Mama tune.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, that was like a trip to a bit more commercial waters, which are not really, I don't know, your home. You're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Nah, I mean, for me, like I said, man, I just experiment with music, man. But I was in LA. I was in Los Angeles doing some shows, and I was playing at this place called the Belly Up in San Diego, doing a concert there. And this lady, Shelly Root, she works with me and Halfline in California, and she's like a little agent. She, I think Will I Am saw me at a studio session for another guy, a guy called Motivate. He's like he's a producer from Los Angeles. I think he did some work with Will I Am before they got big, and it was Hey Mama. So I just wrote the cutie, make sure you move your booty, and they loved it. They mixed it, put it on the album, and the next thing I knew, Where Is the Love came out, and it went to #1. So I said, wow, it looks like this group's gonna blow up. So they were kind of like, an underground hip hop group. They went very, very commercial, if you like.
So good. I also want to touch some other passion of yours. I don't know if our followers know that, but while you were young, you were considered to be pretty good at football, soccer.
Yes, sir.
How's that? You still playing soccer? Still?
No. I can't afford to get injured now. So
You also made a song, Shouting for Gunners, with Peter Haningale in 93.
Yeah, for Arsenal football team. We're suffering right now.
So you're a big fan of Arsenal?
Yeah, that's my team, man. But we're suffering right now,
I know, you haven't been the champion for like 15 years.
They lost the final yesterday.
Sooner or later, there's going to be better days for your team, I hope. But you're still a big fan of soccer and sports in common.
Yeah, man. I swim. I have to just swim now. I love to play football, but I just, unless I'm going to kick about with my friends and that, I might have a kick about, but I don't play no serious. Like in the 90s, 93, 94, I won some with the local football team I was playing for, But now I kind of stopped playing football. Swimming is my thing now. I like to swim, but the Gunners tune was a blessing, because it was amazing to make a video with the football team that I support from a little boy.
And that was for the final of FA
93,
Cup, right?
94, FA Cup and the League Cup. The cup that we lost yesterday, I think that was the last time we won it.
It was a double crown season.
Yes. Yes. You know your football.
Yeah, well, I follow sport also.
Okay. But yeah, man, I got passion for music, passion for sport. That's my life, I like sport, like music, love music, and that's mostly my life, apart from my family,
So for the very end, do you have any message you would like to pass on to our followers and listeners?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, to anybody that is listening right now that has bought a Tippa Irie tune. Thank you very much for the support, and much respect to all the people that support reggae music on a whole and support me and my music, much respect. And, my latest album is called Living the Dream, and it's out now, and people can check it out. I have Peter Haningale, General Levy, Sanai Tafari, Rasta Message, Sapphire, J.B. Baker on the album. You know, it's a kind of versatile album, a bit of roots, a bit of hip-hop, a bit of dancehall, a bit of one drop. It's got a bit of everything on there, so people can check it out. I have a new tune out called Live the Life I Love that's just been released on the Blue Flower Rhythm. Yeah, it's called the Blue Flower Rhythm. If they go to newedgemusic.com, they can check out the Blue Flower Rhythm. And my tune is a killer. It's called Live the Life I Love. I got 2 tunes out right now with Papa Crook, Hey Fatty Boom Boom, and Miss Wireways. They can buy those tunes. Just go to tippairie.com. They can check out those tunes on there also. Yeah. So yeah, big respect to everybody, man. Link up tippairie.com. Link me up on Twitter at Tippa Irie 7665. Blessed love.
It's been a real honor, and thank you for taking your time for us.
Yeah, no problem, my brother. Respecting. One love. No, Mr. Second crowd of people, because you know, so that's me. Nobody else about the Tippa Irie. This is Mr. Irie, you know, me not lie. Yeah, we have to big up Reggae.Si.